Welcome to Lights in the Night with your host, Russell Johnson. Uncover the truth about alien contact and hear from insiders who reveal the evidence. Stay tuned.
Good evening. Thank you very much for listening again to lightsinthenight.org. A lot of things happening all across the world, and even the Galactic Command above us, watching us, listening to us, and giving us information. It's a lot of things happening. I would suggest that for those people who, on a regular basis, who want to keep up the speed in terms of what's happening, I would watch Gaia, or you can go to Cosmic Connections, Cosmic Disclosures, you can Beyond Belief by George Norrie. There's a lot of information coming down the pike, and you need to be right on top of it because it's going to really explode pretty soon here. It's so much. But anyway, one of the things that when you listen to the congressional hearings, you'd see that those guys are saying that they're here. Maybe they talk about the Greys or reptilians or Nordics or tall whites, but there are thousands and thousands of entities coming to the planet at this time because this is the year of disclosure. Big time, 2024. So much is happening. A lot of people might be listening who have been abducted and don't know much about that, so you might want to watch a motion picture like Fire in the Sky, The Fourth Kind. Look at some of those pictures so you get an idea of what's happening, and then you because a lot of people who have been abducted and don't remember anything, maybe you came here incarnated on this planet at this time to participate in this disclosure movement. And with that being said, we have Peter Mingle, Roger Young with us today. One of the things I just say, when they do get these spaceships, when they crash, like Area 51 and others, they have so far, it's estimated to have 120 some spaceships that have crashed. They have back engineered those entities, and they have some things that are coming to the planet, and that's going to really surprise you in terms of what it can do for your life. And we have Peter Mingo, who has met Roger Young, who has something that's very unique with a light bulb. So, Peter, thank you very much. Peter has a radio show for many years called Fortunes Radio. And Peter, thank you very much for being here. Let's talk about Roger Young and what he has to offer us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Russ Johnson, and
Yes,
Lights in the Night, one of my favorite radio shows, and one of my favorite people for sure. So we met, Russ, a year or so ago, although I knew who you were through your reputation in the home-based business arena. And as a result of that, we started to talk more often about what was going on with alien abductions and all that cool stuff that a lot of our customers and listeners plug into, and they say, I got to talk to Russ because, I got to tell him about my UFO story or my alien abduction or my special spatial encounter. Well, after a while of, working with you, I felt that, you really have to know about Mr. Roger Young. Roger K. Young is a gentleman I met, it's been a decade or so ago. And for those people that remember AOL, there used to be a feature called Ask Jeeves, which was almost like a precursor to artificial intelligence, where if you want to know anything, you ask Jeeves. Well, Roger was the precursor to Ask Jeeves. Roger's like a major curious person and like an inventor. And if you needed to know anything about just about anything, you could probably ask Roger. So when I met Roger, he introduced to me something called Pure Light. And the Pure Light is a light bulb. It's an LED light bulb. He's going to tell you a little bit about it. But I'll share with you my personal testimonial. I have a challenge with my eyes, and the only light bulb that works for me in my office is the Pure Light bulb. Seriously. And I would tell, I went crazy. I had a Pure Light bulb, and then they don't last forever, but it had burnt out after, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of being on all the time. And I could not find anything else that was a replacement. And it was always on, and it always worked for me. And it was one of those things where you just kind of forgot about it. And when I forgot about it, I didn't realize I needed a replacement because I had given mine to a few other people that I know. And I called up Roger and I said, hey, Roger, tell us about this light bulb. And he'll tell you that the origins of it. We'll do a little bit of that here. You can go to his website. But everybody just loves Roger. He's the ultimate in an entrepreneur and inventor, and I swear by this pure light bulb. Besides being great daylight for me in my office, it also helps do a whole bunch of things that Roger's going to talk about. So I wanted to make sure the world knew about Roger Young and the pure light bulb and pure light technology. So Roger, take it away.
Well, you're too kind, Peter, and if I lived up to half of the stuff that you say I can do, then I would be somebody, fantastic. I'd be almost as big as you.
You could do everything.
Or Russ.
I've seen you in action. You can do just about everything.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've kicked around a little bit. I'm an old fogey guy. Been around, seen a lot of interesting things. Have met a lot of interesting people, et cetera, like that. But, almost 15 years ago, I met when I had a solar energy company, and we were doing, $1 million plus a year. It was a small little solar energy company, and a guy came to me and said, we have this technology that we're interested in marketing, and you seem to be, know what you're doing, and I sure fake people out fairly well. So I got involved with it, and lo and behold, I said, this is important. This could change the world for the better. This could save people's lives. This could reduce pollution if applied properly. And so, long story short, I took the stuff, played with it for 2 or 3 years, and said, the more I played with it, the more I said, I want to, really invest in it. So I've invested probably about $500,000, more than that probably now, probably about $600,000, $700,000 of my own money, into this project. And so what it is that, how to make this short, because, it gets tricky. But they had a problem in the International Space Station. I'm going to start there. They had a problem in this International Space Station. And the problem is that they can't control the mold. Now, the Russians had their Mir space stations. And they literally had mold that developed that never seen on Earth before. And they're worried about that. The mold was actually eating their circuit boards there, and it became so toxic that they couldn't even live on it. And so eventually they threw it away. It was a nice, interesting blue streak in the sky. A different story for another time. And then they came up with the idea of an international space station. So the problem is that you can't just open the window and let the clean air in and the moldy air out. And so now they have in the International Space Station more people, longer time, working harder, more sweat, stuff like that, bigger problem. So the story goes that NASA spent $1 billion or so trying to figure out a way to get rid of this mold, and they duplicated all the things that Russia tried, chemicals and gases and, you name it, they tried it. Nothing seemed to work. And so they spent that, and so they figured out that they better use what nature has been using for millions of years, whatever. And that is that there's a thing called titanium dioxide. It's the 9th most abundant material or mineral on the planet. Okay? And in fact, if you brushed your teeth this morning, likely you ate some titanium dioxide. It's the super white that makes the white paint white. It makes the white marshmallows white. It makes the sugar white. It makes the makeup white. You go on and on. It's the white in the white paint. Okay? And what happened, and we've been using it for 100 years. We've even used it. We've eaten it and we've drunk it. It's not good for you to breathe it, like any kind of a dust. And so in 1967, a Japanese researcher discovered that if you hit it with high intensity ultraviolet light, it fluoresced. It produced an excited electron. Well, he thought he developed a new type of solar panel. But it was so excited, it could not be drawn off with a wire. So he gave up on that. However, he announced his discovery and stuff along this line. And so for 30 years, people investigated and looked at it and tried it and tested it and found out, whoa, because there is a little bit of this titanium dioxide in every shovelful of dirt around the world being shined on by the sun. It's actually, they found out, is the one, if not the main reason it cleans the air. What happens is that when the electron gets out, it almost immediately hits a water molecule, and it splits that water molecule and creates two superoxygen molecules. And if you want to get picky, one's a superoxide, the other is a hydroxyl ion. These two superoxygen molecules actually go out and get rid of, literally dissolve, they kind of clump them all together called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. And that includes poisonous gases, that includes bacteria, that includes viruses, that includes odors, that includes mold, that includes a whole list of things. I mean, pesticides are a volatile organic compound, or a VOC. Odors, cat litter box is a VOC. Carbon monoxide is a VOC. Smog is considered a VOC. And these superoxygen molecules eliminate all of that. They literally change it chemically into a little bit of water vapor and a harmless CO2 gas. And so, but for 30 years, no one could figure out a way to make it commercially feasible. They couldn't figure out a way to glue it, this white dirt, to a surface that would allow it to do its photocatalytic action.
Okay.
Now, the process in nature is called homogeneous photocatalysis.
Can you hear me,
Big
Roger?
word, but that's the basis of the technology.
For the people who, that's a mouthful, no question about that, all the things you see. So what do? Just plug the light bulb, just screw it in, and it does all those things, you saying? Is that what you say?
Yeah. So we took the NASA formula, made it much, much better, improved it, made it last 10 times longer, and made it inexpensive. And so when you plug it in, what we did is, and we took that and integrated it into the cover of a special prepared LED light bulb.
Okay,
so now, the bottom line is you take that light bulb, which you have in your hand probably, and you screw it into a light socket, and it now is a $1 million air purification system from the International Space Station.
Okay, listen.
It produces superoxygen molecules.
Roger,
go and clean the air.
Roger, how expensive is this? This sounds like a whole lot of complication for a light bulb.
Yeah, it does a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, what's the cost?
If you buy the billion version of this, it's $1,000 here on Earth. Our version is about $25 to $30, and it lasts 5 years.
Okay, and so
actually 5 to 10 years.
Okay, Roger, I'm looking at this box, and it's in all things that you said it will do. You say it will do. I see odors and cigarette smoking and odors from cats or dogs or whatever. It does all of this. And is it guaranteed?
And a lot more too.
And gets rid of mold
example,
and all that?
You're worried about carbon monoxide? It dissolves carbon monoxide, gets rid of it.
Roger, Will, can you
You
put
have
it in your
chemical pesticides
in
in
your
the air.
HVAC?
This
Can you
gets
put
rid of
it
the chemical pesticides in the air.
Can you put it in your air conditioning system? They have these lights to help clean it. Do you have a light that does that as well?
We're working on that. Some companies now put a high-intensity ultraviolet light. One of our breakthroughs that we just got patented is that we don't need this high-intensity ultraviolet light. It's a regular light bulb. It
Well,
uses
let's-
natural daylight frequency.
Okay. Listen, since time is running short here, I think about 5 minutes left at best. Look, so Freddie has a studio here with students. He's on all the major platforms, covered a lot of radio stations. So you can send him some, or you can send people some, so they can use them and test them.
I need.
Oh, yeah.
But
We
Roger,
have now 10. Yeah, we'll send you some because you're friends of Peter's and friends of Russ's.
What
We'll
I like
send you
to,
some for
what
free.
I like to do is to work up on this. This is an amazing light bulb.
Yeah.
And where is this technology comes from? With NASA?
This spaceship.
Well, that's where it originated, but we took the NASA formula and made it different, improved it, and made it last 10 times
amazing.
longer.
Yeah, I know.
So now it's the Pure Light formula, and we have just received our 4th patent on it.
And they got a patent.
Yeah, I got a patent on all of saying that it will do all those things, plus some other things he hasn't said yet. But
I've just got started. Remember, this is why we're not swimming in toxic, fumes from volcanoes and everything else. Is because these superoxide molecules have gone out and clean that.
Listen.
This is taking that natural stuff, making it faster, and now you can bring it inside your home. It
Roger.
cleans the environment. It cleans the air and surfaces. And we have independent labs tests demonstrating that. I mean, I can't talk about some of the stuff it can on air right now because we're in the middle of getting our EPA registrations. But I mean, hospitals want this, military want this, et cetera. And I mean, like I said, I could go on for another show.
What's a website people can go look at it? And for those individuals who are listening and say, you get rid of mold, you get rid of odors, you get rid of all this, people would want to try it. How can they try it?
Yeah, it's simple. Yeah, and we're having I'll tell you what, I'll set it up so that if they go to the website and type in Russ, R-U-S-S,
Okay.
into the discount section, I'll give them a 20% discount on their purchase. The website is pure, P-U-R-E, dash, light, L-I-G-H-T.com.
Okay, all right. Well, that's exciting.
Pure-light.com.
Freddie, we got any questions? Don, you got any questions of it?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Where, I believe I know the answer, but I'm not sure, is this technology coming from?
But come on, they're back engineering all these spaceships.
Yeah, that's what was very interesting
Yeah.
about this whole thing.
Sounds to me like they got this technology maybe perhaps off of spaceship.
Yes, what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Just whose spaceship?
Right, that's true. That happens. It's happening a lot. Then, as a matter of fact, we got spaceships that travel the universe now. But the last 20 years, that the United States Space Force is running up and down the planet.
Well,
They are giving it.
it's not the formula. It's the actual internal mechanism of the light bulbs that is the problem. If the light bulb lasts 20 years, our formulas and coatings on that light bulb, if it's the right frequency, it will last up to 20 years. And they actually used, at one time, titanium dioxide into air rebreathers. So you can bet anytime we're going to go to outer space or someplace, this type of stuff will be in it, cleaning and purifying the air.
I got a question. The electric cars have batteries. And one of the problems they're having with the batteries is what to do with them afterwards. Would this resolve that problem?
No. Okay. The batteries are a think of lithium as a dirt. It doesn't get rid of the lithium. Okay?
Gotcha.
At least I don't think so. I have to do. I mean, this is a new technology.
No, I get
mean,
it.
we've
I
been
get it.
experimenting, for example, in greenhouses. It makes plants grow twice as fast.
What
And we don't
sizes do you have
understand
them
it
in?
all.
What sizes do you have them in?
Oh, we got them all sizes. We have the regular size. We have the small candelabra ones. We have the canned lights, what we call the BR30s that go in, above your kitchen. We have the 4-foot ones. We have a 3-way, so those we keep those in stock. We have 100,000 light bulbs in stock.
And this is a USA-made product, correct?
Well, yes and no. We take the light bulb is manufactured in Taiwan, brought over here, and then, well, 3 years ago, we sourced them from China because that were cheapest. We've switched to Taiwan, and but our goal is to raise money, and we're going to do a WeFunder here in probably next week, raise some cash and give, let people buy stock into the company to raise money to expand our marketing, expand our production, and essentially set up our own full-blown light bulb manufacturing company or center in the United States.
All right, but give us that website again. So people go to the website, take a look. And if there's a phone
Of
number.
course, the www.pure, P-U-R-E-light, L-I-G-H-T.com, pure-light.com.
Peter?
The name of the company is Pure Light, Pure-Light Technologies.
Oh, yeah. Is Peter Mingle still there? Peter Mingle?
Peter's still here? Yep, Peter's still here.
Yeah. Now, we got about 1 minute. Let's talk about, you've been using it, and you told us at the beginning how wonderful the last 5 years you've been using it. What is his claim to fame as according to your usage of the light bulb?
The light is incredible. First of all, it looks like daylight in my office all the time. So it's a pure light. It's daylight frequencies and 11. The second thing is it helps kill mold and smells and things like that. So one quick story, my daughter bought my granddaughter a ferret. And a ferret is a rodent that stinks. And she put the ferret's cage in her bedroom, and I said, this is unsafe. It stinks so bad. So I took a pure light bulb, put it in there, told my daughter to leave the light on, and the ferret smell was limited to almost being hardly noticeable. So we kept it on all the time, put a cage over the thing for the ferret to be able to sleep at night. But the reality was it really does work on mold.
He has done,
car
Peter,
that I used it in as well. Yes.
he has done some shows with you. Where would they go and listen to more of this on the program on your radio network?
If you go to buildingfortunesradio.com/pure light, you'll be able to hear extended versions of this. So
Okay.
buildingfortunesradio.com/pure light.
All right. Freddie, what do you think? Don?
Now,
I feel like I need new light
you have to
bulbs.
understand that we got a couple of caveats. We have to say that FDA requires us to say that this stuff is, these light bulbs are not designed to treat or cure any diseases.
Okay.
And the EPA says that we cannot say it kills, mold or bacteria, germs, stuff like that, until we receive the EPA registrations, which we're in the process of doing and raising more money to get that done.
Okay, listen, Peter. I really appreciate you being on. You've done a magnificent job in explaining what this is in terms of the new kind of technology that we need to stay safe.
Excellent jobs. And you can, for those of you listening on radio tonight, you can go to Lights in the Night on Facebook to see the boxes, to see what's going on with this thing, because this is an amazing turn of events. Everybody should be on these bulbs.
Right.
Amazing turn of events.
Right. So, hey, listen, Peter, Roger, thank you very much for being on the program. And young lady, you want to say anything as we
Our
close?
pleasure.
Yeah, I think it's an
Thanks, Roger.
amazing light bulb. because we've had a mysterious smell in the house for some reason
Oh, well,
for the last couple of weeks.
take one of the light bulbs and take that smell away.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. Seriously, it's been making me cough and my eyes water. Okay, can I take one? That's very sweet of you.
Take it, please.
Yes, he just said I could.
No, you cannot. I'm taking. All right, say goodbye.
Yeah, no, I got some in the car. I'll get
They give you one from the
I got
car.
some at home.
I've
I
had a
got
really
some
bad
at
smell.
home. Okay, thank you. Hey, folks, thank you very much for listening to Lights in the Night. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Right. Bye now.
Thank you for joining us on Lights in the Night. Keep your eyes on the skies and stay curious. Until next time, good night.